Hi everyone, Ryan here, Ion Capital Solutions. Hope you're doing well. So, is business loan brokering recession proof? Well, it's no secret we're looking at a lot of inflation right now. I mean, just the other day it cost $75 to fill my gas tank, right? I ordered a pizza. It was a $10 delivery charge, right? Any company that's purchasing products at wholesale prices are seeing an increase in cost, right? And therefore, they're going to be charging their customers an increase in cost. And round it all goes, and pressure on the housing market as well, right? And so, business loan brokering, is this space going to make it through, right? A decline? Is this a recession proof business? It's a good question. Let's take a look. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I really think a good place to start is just a recap of what is business loan brokering. Okay, so business loan brokering started in 2008, shortly after the crash. Okay, and essentially what had happened was banks started saying no to businesses. And so we started saying yes when the banks said no. And that's because private money lenders started coming about. And the reality is, private lending began surfacing, offering capital solutions that brokers could sell for a commission. Now, you had these private money lenders who either had calling centers and would have people making outbound calls. That was the popular model. But more and more, as time went on from 2008 to now 2022, you have lots of people around this country that are doing this from home as individuals, setting up their own shops, whatever it may be. So, business loan brokering really has been a booming industry and is, I mean, huge today. Huge. So with that being said, lots of businesses, lots of real estate investors and real estate investment firms are constantly borrowing money. They're borrowing money for a living, right? And so they're always going to need private money. And there's always going to be a broker, whether they work for the private lender or they're an independent ISO, right, who's going to help them get the funding they need. Okay? So, with that being said, you have to understand that constant capital need, that's what we're delivering, right? We're meeting that demand. So, businesses, they frequently borrow money to keep the books stable, right? Whether they're expanding their business, they need to stabilize cash flow. They're usually in a cycle of borrowing money, so maybe they have some loans they want to pay off, some debt, whatever it may be. There's lots of reasons, right? Whether they're looking to finance a piece of equipment or secure a loan with a piece of equipment or purchase real estate or have an unsecured loan based on cash flow, whatever it is. They're regularly borrowing. Real estate investors, it's the same thing. They literally borrow money for a living. They're constantly purchasing properties and flipping them to buyers, or they're purchasing, fixing up, and then refinancing and holding on to properties and turning them into rentals, Airbnbs, whatever it may be. And they're not just doing that with cash. They're borrowing money from lenders a lot, right? And so as they're borrowing, if you're the one providing the funding to them, you're collecting a commission. If they call the lender directly, the person they talk to on the phone who helps them get the funding they need is a broker, and they're going to earn a commission. Whether they tie it into origination or it's broker points, at the end of the day, it's the same thing. It's just how they cook the books, so to speak, right? How they essentially tie the funds together and how they label it in the contract. But at the end of the day, there's always a broker on the file. So the reality is, business loan brokering is very much a big part of today's economy, and it's not going anywhere. You see, 7 million businesses in the U.S. and counting, okay? And this was a 2020, right? It's 2022 now, and yeah, we've seen a little bit of a dip, but there's also a lot of businesses growing. More and more people are going into business for themselves now than ever before. So I would say that this number's probably increased. We'll see what the demographics or excuse me, the information coming back from 2021 after the surveys comes back and says, let alone 2022, you know. But the reality is there are a tremendous amount of business owners out there, okay? And the reality is it's about 600,000 new businesses every year based on those figures in that time frame. Very excited to see where we're at in 2022, right? And where we ended up in 2021. But the reality is there's more than enough people out there borrowing money consistently. And you can help those people get the funding they need, and you can earn a commission for doing so. So the reality is, yes, business loan brokering is recession proof. It's here to stay. Businesses will always need money, especially when the banks are saying no, especially when there's a recession, especially when there's inflation. Businesses need to keep their business in business, right? They need to keep their employees paid. How are they going to do that if they're not generating enough revenue, right? Or if they need to expand their services or cut down and build out a new department or whatever it is? Where's that money going to come from? They borrow money. They want to raise capital, they want to liquidate, maybe they're going to cash out of equity on existing real estate that they own. A loan broker is going to provide that to them, right? Business loan brokering is here to stay. It is, in fact, recession proof. So anybody who's active in the space, do not worry. Anybody who's interested in getting into this space, you're getting into the right space, okay? Business loan brokering is absolutely here to stay, all right? Anyway, thanks so much for your time. We'll catch you in the next video.